She's very skinny.
Salah, no, don't take the cat home.
Babe, stop.
Please leave the cat. Salah, please, this is not right. That kitten is old enough to be without its mother.
It's very starving.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about Foodie Beauty, or Chantal. This is someone that many people have wanted me to make more videos on. Honestly, the reason that I haven't made more videos on her is because she is one of those people that if you haven't stayed up to date on everything that's going on, for me at least, it's just really hard to kind of catch up and try and talk about what is going on if you don't really understand all of the lore. And I will be the first one to admit I am not an expert on this. There are plenty of people that will probably be down in the comments of this video that know a lot more, but I want to talk about the most recent thing that has happened and all of the implications that are kind of coming from that. But before we get into what is happening right now, just a very short kind of update for those of you guys that might not know who this is at all. So Chantal is also known as Foodie Beauty, is what she was online for the longest time. She started as someone that was trying to be a kind of like makeup influencer, doing videos like that. But then eventually, after time, she ended up doing mukbang videos, which garnered some popularity. But through doing that, she kind of ended up in, as you can see by the shirt, ended up in girl world. And that's not just because of, you know, the size that she is, because she's a larger individual. A lot of it's just decisions that she makes and things that she does are incredibly, the best way and the nicest way I can put it, are very interesting. I know I use that word a lot, but it's just a lot of times it's like she makes the worst decision possible, and then we'll continue to try and justify that decision time and time again, while also monetizing that decision that she made by getting super chats, by doing live streams, and you know, all of this just ends up in a very kind of toxic, I would say, audience of people that are watching her, people that are interested and maybe are supporters, but also people that are kind of hate watching and egg her on to do certain things, right? And recently she has ended up moving to Kuwait with her husband. I think they're married, or fiance, or whatever, her love interest, which that's again has been a huge thing. She's always kind of bouncing back and forth between different men in her life that she says that she loves, and then all of a sudden something happens. So that's a whole nother thing. But she has been in Kuwait for the last little bit of time, and she is originally from Canada. That's kind of important, right? And as she's been in Kuwait, she's been doing a lot of live streams. She's been doing, you know, the kind of the same content she was really doing in Canada, she has been doing in Kuwait. And at the start, when she first got to Kuwait, it was all great and dandy and everything was lovely and she loved it there, right? Recently, within the past like 2 weeks, I'd say, the tune has changed. And the main reason, and this is so bizarre that this is kind of the thing that kicked off all of the stuff that is going on, is that Chantal found what she calls a stray cat just on, like, when she was out and about, and she decided to take that stray cat. From what a lot of people are saying, the mother was there with her, with that stray cat, and she decided that she was going to nurse this cat back to health. And in doing so, she ended up taking some donations, super chats, telling people to send her money on PayPal, and that's kind of turned into a huge thing. So the first thing that I want to go over is actually a little bit of a recap. So this is from Sansa Cooks. We actually talked about Sansa's videos recently. She does, you know, she talks a lot about the Girl World and Foodie Beauty, Amberlynn Reed, you know, and Hungry Fat Chick, all of them, right? So she does videos about these people pretty frequently, and she did this little bit of a recap, so just so you guys can kind of get an understanding of what's going on. And then there's been some more information that has happened basically the day of me recording this video that I want to share. But let me have Sansa kind of take it away. So this is her talking about the whole cat conspiracy thing that's going on.
Hello. Hello.
So these videos are from a live stream that Foodie Beauty had on her channel that she has since deleted. Okay, so if you don't know.
No.
So it goes on to say, I know kittens are squirmy, but that one clearly doesn't enjoy being held.
Hi. Hi. Don't bite me. Oh.
And then it says, notice how she's admiring how she looks holding the kitten.
want some food? Here. Oh my God. Babe, we have to take her.
38 seconds. It took her 38 seconds from first appearing with the kitten to deciding to take it. Cats can live over 20 years, and it took her under a minute to make this decision. She's being
So definitely, you know, Foodie Beauty is definitely very impulsive, and that's just something that if you follow her and you've seen some of her videos and things that she says, things that she does, very, very common in a lot of her content, right? This is not just the kitten thing.
incredibly impulsive.
Oh my gosh. She's so small.
And something that's really important for those of you that might not know all the backstory, again, Foodie Beauty is in Kuwait, which is somewhere where she is not a citizen from. And I think her husband also is not a citizen of Kuwait. Now, if this was Canada or the US, things would probably be a little bit different, but that isn't the case, right? So she is in a foreign country, and she ends up, basically, from what people are saying, stealing a cat and then soliciting donations. That's what ends up happening, right?
Yeah, but where's her mom?
I don't know.
Believe it or not, Salah is actually the voice of reason throughout most of this video. He's no match for Foodie's whining or bratty behavior though, and he quickly gives in.
Maybe one of these cats, her mom or her dad.
Does she look like she still needs to be titty fed?
So he says, if you can hear in the background, he says maybe one of these cats are the kitten's mom, right? So there were other cats around. It's not like this kitten was just out and about by itself, right?
Oh my gosh. She's so skinny.
Yeah, feral cats are skinny, and they also live in colonies and learn to take care of one another.
Oh my gosh. You're so beautiful. She has ear mites bad. Let me see. Oh yeah, she has ear mites bad. You're so precious. She doesn't want to eat crunchies, so she's probably still being milk fed.
So Foodie just admitted that she realizes the cat should still be with its mother. At this point, it doesn't really matter though, because her mind is already made up.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? She says it there, right? Oh, it seems like she's still being milk fed. So the cat's still alive and it's being milk fed. What would, what do you think that means, right? It's clearly getting milk fed from either its mom or another cat that is able to give this kitten milk, right? And so, but she's going to take that cat away from there.
I don't know if we can afford another cat. That's the
But if we keep her, maybe we'll be mean to her family.
He says, if we keep her, maybe that would be mean to her family, right? So that's what Salah says, which is Foodie Beauty's husband, fiance, partner. And then she says, I don't know if we can afford another cat, right? And it's important to understand that she is saying that while she is live streaming to people that absolutely will send in super chats, because that is something that's very, very common in Foodie Beauty streams, right? People send in super chats to get attention, whatever it might be. And so she knows without a doubt that if she says, I don't know if we can afford it, people are going to be like, oh, I'll send money to help you, to help with this, to help with that, right? Because people want to help. They think that they're helping, right? Very, very important.
Wanda, for the kitty, 50 US. Oh.
So $50 super chat, right? For the cat, right? So this is for the cat. This is for food and whatever, right?
Oh, thank you so much, Wanda. If we take her, will you guys help us? Like, for real? What
Very manipulative, in my opinion. Very, very manipulative.
do you think, babe? No?
What if she, Julia fights her or something?
I don't think Julie would fight her. She was raised in a house with cats.
In my opinion, that $50 super chat changed everything. Up until then, Foodie was getting $10 or less per super chat, and you could really see her wheels starting to turn.
That would cover the vet visit. We will help. Because she probably has a mom, but the mom, like the cat feels starving. Like she feels hungry. I don't know what she would eat. Oh, you're my baby girl. Are you our new baby?
Of Mice and Men comes to mind, and Foodie is being incredibly immature and, again, impulsive. It's clear that she sees this kitten as a potential future prop.
This could be a community beezer.
Yeah, and man, that is so. That's where, when it comes to like social media and like social media influencing, if you're not someone that's in it, you might not notice that little comment that she says, right? Community beezer, which is like, I think that's what she calls her fans or something like that, right? And again, it's manipulation to get people connected to this thing. And then because they're connected to that thing, they're more likely to send in money. Here, this is $50 for the cat. When in reality, right, who knows if any of that money is actually going to the cat, but instead going to Foodie Beauty, right? It's very manipulative, and I think that there is very much so intention behind saying that and making sure that you point that out, right? She's pointing that out for a reason, because she knows that it's going to increase people sending in that money, because they're going to want to feel like they are part of this thing, right?
Aw. Isn't she sweet?
Yeah.
She's very skinny. Oh, her, you can feel her ribs and stuff. Be careful, hon. She's very fragile. We will help. Okay, maybe we should take her. They will help us, they said. We can bring her to the vet tomorrow.
They will help is code for we'll get more money out of the Beezers.
Yep.
You want to put her in the car?
In the car?
Yeah, she won't poop.
How you know?
Oh, I gotta go bathroom soap. If she poops, I'll clean it. What do you guys think? The vet's not open now, is it?
Pet zone, yes, but not the vet.
No, she needs a doctor. She has ear mites. They need to clean them out.
Oh.
Start a GoFundMe? No, we could just do my PayPal if you guys want to send money to the She's panting. Okay, let's bring her home. We can at least help her out. The Beezers want to help too.
Okay, yellow.
Okay, we're gonna go right home.
We have to go now.
Okay, grab. Okay.
It's pretty interesting how easily Foodie can get Salah to do what she wants.
The food in the car, خلاص, finish.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We're going. Hi.
And something that's interesting, right? During this stream, I watched another video. I don't remember how I found it. I wasn't able to find it again. There were people in the chat that were saying, "Hey, this isn't. You probably shouldn't do this. You know, don't take the cat from its mother." But again, that was kind of ignored because people are sending money, right? And we can get money off of this, and we can help the cat. Again, I think that help the cat means we can get some money out of this.
No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. I think it's a girl.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, I think it's a boy.
Boy?
From the moment she appears in frame with the kitten to when she's walking to the car with it is 8 minutes and 17 seconds. During that time, they made no effort to try to find the mother.
We don't have a cage. Do you want to go home and get the cage?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
From this point on, listen to how manic Foodie is about taking this cat. Most of the chat is telling her not to do it. Salah is getting confused and she pushes on. Now, I don't think it's just about the money. I think it's more about getting her own way.
This is exciting.
Okay, Yella, cage.
Salah, please stop her.
Cage, don't listen. She's very skinny.
See, interesting, right? She says, "Don't listen," right? Because he's reading what these people are saying, and they're saying, "Hey, don't take the cat from its mom," right? And then he's like, "Wait a second," and then she's like, "Oh, just don't listen to them." Jesus.
We saw a dead kitten the other day. Okay. She's very skinny.
Salah, no, don't take the cat home.
Babe, stop.
Please leave the cat. Salah, please, this is not right. That kitten is old enough to be without its mother.
It's very starving.
It's very starving.
Yeah.
Even her words
You
are
can just tell, right? It's like, no, this is what we're gonna do no matter what, right? This is happening.
starting to not make sense. She really sounds like a petulant child here.
We need a name.
Beezer. Okay, go. Yella. Cage, please. Just put the phone down for now. Honey.
The mother is there.
No, she's not. She would be with her mom.
And that's it. That's the big lie. Foodie would say anything at this point to be able to keep this kitten. There's so much more to this story, but I've got to run. If you want to see the whole thing as it unfolds...
That's kind of, you know, just for those of you that are curious, that's kind of the whole thing that started this. But there has been a lot more that has happened since the initial live stream where Foodie Beauty takes this kitten allegedly from its mother. And it's not even, what's very interesting is it's not even the fact that she took this cat away that is getting her in, spoiler alert, legal trouble, right? It is the fact that she took donations in Kuwait while she is not a citizen of Kuwait that is getting her in the legal trouble. So now enter Pause Kuwait. So Pause Kuwait is they're like an animal rights kind of activism type of thing that helps the animals around Kuwait. Apparently there's a good amount of like strays and stuff like that, so they try and help that situation. And if we see here, this is just like a little blurb here. It says, to the Honorable Undersecretary of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Labor, greetings. We, the law firm of Name Hidden, on behalf of our client Sahara, a Kuwaiti national, submit the following complaint: Sahara against name redacted but Foodie Beauty, nationality Canadian, right? Subject of the complaint: collection of donations without a license. And this is really what she's in trouble for, right? The complainant works in the field of animal protection. So the person that's filing this voluntarily through the team Kuwait, Pause Kuwait, without compensation on the 30th of, what is that, June, April, January, February, March, April, May of May 30th, she received a rescue report for a cat and kitten located in Finitas area. Upon responding, she found that the cat had been taken to a restaurant and then transferred to a hospital for care. She was surprised to find that the YouTube account handling the case bears the following name: Foodie Beauty. The complainant was surprised to see that the account had published images of the cat she had rescued and admitted into a veterinary hospital for treatment, and that it was collecting donations under the pretext of treating the cat. She is requesting that action be taken and that any illegally collected funds be returned. She stresses that the person in question has entered Kuwait recently, talking about Foodie Beauty, and has been collecting donations without legal authorization. And that seems to be the really big deal, is that Foodie Beauty is in Kuwait getting donations, super chats and stuff like that, her PayPal, right? And she hasn't filed the correct things that she needs to file to be able to do that in Kuwait. Through all of that, you know, there was a lot of people that were coming in support of Pause Kuwait. So this is one of their posts that they put on, I think it was their Instagram. And it says, "Dear supporters, we are being bombarded with messages every single day and night. Your love, support, and concern are reaching us from all directions, and we are truly grateful. However, we are unable to respond to each and every message individually, which is why we're sharing this message publicly. We are staying focused on what matters: positivity, truth, and justice. We promise that after Eid, we will be, I probably said that wrong, I apologize. We will be posting official updates regarding Chantal, Salah, which is her partner, and many other individuals involved. Please understand that preparing everything, especially collecting and translating evidence professionally, takes time and serious effort. We are committed to doing this properly by following Kuwaiti law strictly and respectfully. Everything we are doing is by the book. This is not about drama or any personal agenda. What happened is real, and we are standing strong for our values, our religion, and our country," right? So they are basically saying, hey, we are going to pursue this as much as we possibly can, and it has nothing to do with online drama. This is just, we believe that these people did something that was wrong. That is the reason that we are filing all of these things and trying to get everything in order. And then we have another statement here. This was like basically right before they actually filed an official complaint. And it says, "Because of the large number of messages we received, we are releasing this statement to clarify the situation to everyone. The official complaint is due Monday, and we will share the case number, legal documents, and all of the details regarding the matter. Thanks to our dedicated lawyers for taking legal action so quickly against YouTuber. We will update you all very soon. Thank you for your understanding and continued support clarification statement. Our rescuer, Sanya, saved both the kitten and her mother together. So why did someone else take the kitten away from her stable, non-critical mother? If the goal was truly to help, why wasn't the mother taken too? Why wasn't any proper update like a vet confirmation or hospital video shared? Instead of transparency, this turned into an uncoordinated fundraising while the actual rescuers who converted all costs stayed silent, right? Talking about Foodie Booty. Helping is only meaningful when done legally, responsibly, and without confusion. Collecting donations for personal use is illegal. All donations must go directly to the vet, not individuals. We've received too many messages to respond one by one, so this statement clarifies everything. The official complaint will be filed by Monday, and we'll share the case number and document soon. Thanks for your dedicated lawyer for taking quick legal actions against this YouTuber. Updates coming soon, right? So again, there has been an actual legal thing filed against Chantal because of all of this happening. So obviously I am not a lawyer or a law professional by any stretch of the imagination. I am just the guy that films videos in his room, okay? And so I actually saw this live stream that was put up by someone that is, I'm pretty sure he's a lawyer, Legal Mindset, and he kind of went over everything that we talked about, but towards the end he kind of shared what he thinks will most likely happen. Obviously he can't tell the future. He doesn't know for sure. But a lot of people are saying, oh, Chantal's going to be in prison in Kuwait for 7 years and all of this stuff. And he's kind of being like, hey, this is what I actually think will happen. I just thought it was interesting to hear his opinion as someone that's, more of a professional than I am. And so let's see what he has to say.
All they have to do is say she or her husband or both of them are undesirable, and they can deport them.
So he's talking about the Kuwait could do this to Chantal.
Don't have to give them a massive amount of due process, et cetera, right? These are not asylum seekers. There's not other categories here. These people would be kicked out relatively swiftly if they choose to deport them. And speaking to my contact, who's very familiar with Canadians and misbehavior abroad, that is what they do. And Canada would facilitate a deportation. So sorry, Canadians. Your government, and I don't know if they tell you this, but this is from my connection who works at the embassy, and Canadians, I know it's going to hurt your feelings, but you guys pay for a lot of deportations. Your tax dollars pay for a lot of deportations. So what I mean is you do pay every year, Canadians, a lot to take Canadians that misbehave and bring them back home to Canada. It's a lot. So that is the most likely thing if they go through with this and if this go through. Not 7 years in jail or a year in jail. It is almost certain, 95% plus, that it'd be a deportation. Sorry, Canadians.
So this was from a live stream where he was talking about this, right? So that seems to be what he thinks is going to happen. And so I just thought that this whole situation is so silly. It's interesting. It is definitely very much so girl world coded to the extreme. It almost feels like a parody of the whole situation. But that's kind of everything that I've been able to find. I'm sure there's going to be more information of people down in the comments. By the time this video comes out, who knows? Maybe there'll be more information. But the biggest thing is that Foodie Booty has been pretty much, for the most part, pretty silent once things started really turning, and she's kind of disappeared off of the internet, which is very not normal for her to do, right? And so a lot of people don't know, from what I understand, where she even is. They're not even sure if she's still in Kuwait. They think maybe she has gone back to Canada. No one really knows, right? And so this whole situation it's a very, very interesting situation, and it was something that a lot of people kind of asked me to talk about. Again, not an expert, just sharing what I was able to find. I would love to know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.